So let's talk about Wes Craven's Shocker. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a fan-requested episode. Well, review of an episode. Okay, yes, this is a fan-requested review, as I bring to you for my good friend and fellow YouTuber James Moss, a review of the 1989 slasher flick Shocker. Released by Universal for Alive Films, directed by Wes Craven, who also wrote this, starring Michael Murphy, Peter Berg, Cami Cooper, and Mitch Pileggi. Anyway, well, despite Nightmare on Elm Street was starting to go downhill, this was released the same year as the fifth movie, The Dream Child. But anyway, this is a little bit more cooler and what have you. Anyway, the film focuses on... Let's see, I'm trying to find this here. Well, this here college football star, who is apparently about to be in for a bit of a shock when he learns a television repairman is about to become his worst nightmare, as he gets electrocuted and comes through and possesses people. Yes. Apparently, Universal approached Craven to do this, give him their own version of Freddy Krueger. So, let's get into our story. A news report shows a victim being pulled away on a stretcher. It is revealed that a serial killer, having murdered over 30 people, is on the loose in a Los Angeles suburb. A television repairman with a pronounced limp named Horace Pinker becomes the prime suspect. When investigating detective Lieutenant Don Parker gets too close, Pinker murders Parker's wife, foster daughter, and foster son. However, his other foster son, a college football star named Jonathan, develops a strange connection to Pinker through his dreams. Yeah, does Nightmare on Elm Street ring any bells and what have you? Yeah, you could say that. And leads Parker to Pinker's rundown shop. In a shootout in which several officers are killed, Pinker escapes and targets Jonathan's girlfriend Allison in retribution. Another dream leads Lieutenant Parker and the police to Pinker, whom they catch in the act of a kidnapping. This time, just as Pinker is about to kill Jonathan, he's arrested. And Pinker is quickly convicted and sentenced to die in the electric chair. Prior to his execution, Pinker reveals that Jonathan is, in fact, his son, and that as a boy, Jonathan had shot him in the knee while trying to stop the murder of his mother. But what they don't realize is that Pinker has made a deal with the devil. When executed, he does not die, but instead becomes pure electricity. He's able to possess others to continue his murderous ways. Some of the people who are killed are prison staff and Jonathan's friends. He soon possesses Lieutenant Parker, who uses his strength to fight off Pinker, and Pinker escapes into a TV dish. Jonathan and his friends try to find a way to fight him. Jonathan's friends, including Rhino, head to the power station to disable the power. Alright, now for the ending, you know the procedure like always. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, continue on after the 5 seconds. Thank you. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Jonathan, with the aid of Allison's spirit, devises a scheme to bring Pinker back into the real world, and accidentally discovers that Pinker, as with all energy sources, is bound by the laws of the real world. Jonathan uses this limitation to defeat Pinker and traps him inside a television. Yeah. Pinker threatens Jonathan that he will find a way out of his prison Nelson's voice tells Jonathan to take care of himself, while Jonathan's neighborhood suffers a blackout caused by his friends blowing out the power main, trapping Pinker in the television. Jonathan goes outside amid all his neighbors and looks up at the sky, agreeing with Allison that they are beautiful. End of story. So what did I think of Wes Craven's Shocker? Well, I'm gonna say it's not too bad. I mean, although it's only the second time I've seen this, I saw this movie long ago on one of the Encore channels, but I just recently revisited it on Peacock. And well, after revisiting it, I've come to realize this is pretty good, and I feel like this is kind of an underrated film and what have you. But still, the film did get a little bit of in ways mixed response and what have you. And I'm gonna say this is pretty good. So anyway, its reviews were mixed to average in my view. Well, of course, like most slasher films, according to Craven, the film was severely cut for an R rating. It took around 13 submissions to the MPA to receive an R instead of an X, which was rarely used nowadays. Some scenes that were cut include Pinker spitting out fingers that he bit off a prison guard, and a longer and more graphic electrocution of Pinker, and a longer scene of a possessed coach stabbing his own hand. Despite fan interest, an uncut version has never been released. Yeah. Actually, there's also a pretty good soundtrack as well. The score's done by William Goldstein, does a pretty good job. But anyway, the soundtrack got released and includes contributions by Alice Cooper, who of course would later play Freddy Krueger's abusive father, Mr. Underwood, in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. Plus, there was, let's see, Dangerous Toys, Bonfire, Iggy Pop, and even a cover of one of Alice Cooper's own songs, No More Mr. Nice Guy, which was done by Dave Mustaine and Megadeth, which that was really cool. Well, now, of course, none of Cooper's songs actually made it onto the actual soundtrack, unfortunately. Oh well. Still, I'm gonna say it's pretty cool. There was also the title song to this, which was performed by a group called the Dudes of Wrath, which was a supergroup composed of Paul Stanley of Kiss and Desmond Child, who was best known for writing songs and what have you. Songs such as Bon Jovi's You Give Love a Bad Name and Living on a Prayer, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, I Hate Myself for Loving You, plus a lot of other songs. They both did the vocals, plus they had Vivian Campbell, who, of course, this would be still a bit before he joined Def Leppard, and Guy Mandude on the guitars, Rudy Sarzo on the bass, and Tommy Lee from Motley Crue on drums. Yeah, I thought so. Rudy Sarzo was, a member of Whitesnake, but he was also with Ozzy Osbourne's band and Quiet Riot as well. Now, the cast, on the other hand, I thought was really something. Anyway, now we have Michael Murphy as Lieutenant Parker. He's pretty good. Peter Berg plays Jonathan. I have to give him credit. He was good. Camille Cooper as Allison. Not too bad. Mitch Pileggi as Horace Pinker. Yeah, he nails it. He's a good villain. Let's see. There's Richard Brooks as Rhino. And of course, believe it or not, let's see. Ted Raimi, well, he's credited as Theodore. Of course, that's the brother to Sam Raimi, the guy who brought us the Evil Dead franchise, and later Spider-Man is in this as well. Wes Craven and his actual daughter and son actually make special appearances. Wes makes an appearance as a neighbor of Jonathan's. Jessica Craven appears as a counter person, and Jonathan Craven appears as a jogger. Plus, a little cameo. Plus, there's also a brief cameo by Heather Langenkamp. She makes a brief cameo as Horace Pinker's first victim shown on the TV news. And of course, she's recently appeared in the first and third Nightmare movies. Of course, later on, she would return for Wes Craven's New Nightmare. But anyway, and the story isn't too bad. I thought it was pretty good. The film, unfortunately, was a big disappointment. It failed to only bring in $16 million. It opened in second place, losing to Look Who's Talking. But overall, I think this film has become a cult classic. Now, the film is available on Blu-ray from Shout Factory, and it has been re-released with another Wes Craven feature, The People Under the Stairs, which would be released 2 years later, done by the same studio. So anyway, with all that said, would I recommend Wes Craven's Shocker? I'd say, if I'd say it's kind of a draw between Hell Yeah and maybe give it between Hell Yeah and give it a one-time watch. It just depends. If you're really interested in this flick, I'd say go for it. Give it a shot. I think you'll really like it. So anyway, what are your thoughts on Wes Craven's Shocker? You can tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you a review of the Universal Monster Classic, The Wolfman. Thanks for watching. If you like this, you may want to consider checking out my reviews for these two films I had just now talked about with Heather Langenkamp, who had a cameo. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Or if you want something else from Wes Craven, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of Scream, which just happened to celebrate its 25th anniversary this year. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.